So I am walking up to the county building, which I haven't been here since December of last year. And I can't say I'm excited to be back. I think I'd rather be sleeping as usual, but it's a special occasion. We're congratulating Paloma, or maybe the unions who got her into office, or Dominion. I'm not sure which one. I think I'm going to give credit to the unions today, but we'll keep Dominion in mind. But I'm going to have to do a strip search in order to get into this building. It's part of why I don't like coming here. It's the price of admission, along with all of the absolute craziness that happens in the torture chamber. I don't think I'm going to bring too many nice words today. But I'm going to have to try and have fun with it. And if I don't, I don't know. It is what it is, and I'll have fun after, I guess, when I go to eat pizza. I think that's my plan. This is crazy. There is a property tax payment drop box for Paloma right out front. Why doesn't she use it? Look, it's right here. So convenient. She's so privileged not to have to pay like the rest of us. I have made it through the heavy security. I don't know how. And let's check this out. It's been blank for a long time. For a long time, the elevator's still not fixed. Still exactly the same. Well, this elevator is all right. Look, this is the modern one. Only took him like a year or two to get this done. Does Paloma have friends? We're gonna find out. Am I one of them? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, look at this. The new cruise here. And the photographer. Who paid for that? Is that county tax dollars or private? Probably not private, because you have to have a job to pay for that kind of thing. Oh, no glasses, Jim. Interesting. They look as happy as always. Oh, no glasses on her either.
You're welcome to come forward in any order.
Hi there. It could be more fitting to have yours truly, Truth, at the podium first. Congratulations to Paloma, but mostly congratulations to SEIU, UDW, IBW, and the Building Construction Trades unions for buying Minion Paloma's way into a paycheck she could finally brag about.
She gave herself a 38% raise. But what people don't know is that my monthly salary is $1,100. I don't know if you knew this. I don't get paid to be mayor of the city of Imperial Beach. I don't get paid to be mayor of the city of Imperial Beach. I don't get paid.
$21,500 of political union slumlord money from the National City Apartments, funneled from poor renters who live in reportedly unsanitary conditions in a complex ran by Paloma's slumlord buddy, Matthew Leyba Gonzalez. Until Paloma pays all of her property taxes, she owes the county. She's unqualified to hold office.
You have been held to account for some unpaid county property taxes and debts owed just under $10,000. You have agreed to a repayment plan. Have you begun those payments?
Yeah.
Us regular people would have already had our homes foreclosed on. Only a privileged person would get these free passes.
You know, it's funny that he mentions my property taxes. I'm not privileged. I'm part of a working class.
We were, most of us there, those who don't work.
From the Times of San Diego, quote, Aguirre still owes more than $2,600 in 3-year-old unpaid property taxes and penalties on her Imperial Beach condominium. Creditors have sued Aguirre on multiple occasions. Court records show Aguirre failed to attend key court hearings in 2 of those cases. In 2015, more than $31,000 in debts owed. $1,575 in credit card debt incurred in 2017 while Aguirre served in the office of New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, end quote. There's a pattern of mismanagement. I just like no other unions love buying minions that are broke. They're easier to control. Not to mention, as a tax-evading mayor, she refused to even look at speakers like myself. She was so scared, just like Vanishing Vargas, that she abdicated her responsibilities, fleeing her post while I was speaking at the last Imperial Beach Council meeting.
That's great.
Motion carried unanimously by those present, Aguirre absent.
I wasn't sure if she ran back to La Mesa or what.
Paloma's also done everything she can to disrupt real solutions to the sewage emergency, from having anti-Trump tariff tirades rather than supporting tariffs to hold Mexico accountable, to conspiring with Steve Padilla against IB to hijack SB 10 to take away Tijuana River mitigation, to voting no to real solutions the entire council approved of, to childishly ripping up a letter from the EPA.
EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin did acknowledge the need to get involved, writing on X, "I was just briefed that Mexico is dumping large amounts of raw sewage into the Tijuana River, and it's now seeping into the U.S. This is unacceptable."
She did.
So a real congratulations to the city of Imperial Beach, who is now free from the burden of her external corruption. Thank you.
Just like I said.
All vote. Welcome to the board, Mayor Aguirre. Now you provide the moderate leadership the board desperately needs.
That ain't happening.
Resolution forward. Thank you. Happy to second and take a moment to make a couple comments. I think this is an incredibly exciting day. I am so very much looking forward to working Supervisor Aguirre is a colleague on this board. She is an inspirational leader, a person of great principle, great vision, and a person I've watched for a long time now, and really felt like she always showed up, fighting for her community, fighting for what's right, and I'm very much looking forward to her.
I've never been watching council meetings.
Help lead the entire county. So thank you very much, and I'm happy to second. Supervisor Desmond.
Well, I also wanted to thank, is it still Mayor or Supervisor to be Aguirre?
She's supposed to have resigned.
Supervisor-elect, I'm sorry. Welcome, and I look forward to working with you, hopefully with common sense solutions here as a county.
Good luck.
Supervisor Anderson.
I'd just like to say welcome aboard, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much. There's a motion by Supervisor Montgomery Stepp, seconded by myself, for approval of item 1. Please vote.
Vice Chair Lawson Reamer, that motion passes unanimously with all supervisors who are eligible to vote on this item voting aye.
Okay, thank you very much. We will now move to the Waterfront Park Southwest Lawn for the swearing-in ceremony. And reconvene in the chamber at 11 a.m. to continue with the rest of the items on today's agenda. And I have been notified by staff that I have to make sure that my colleagues are actually all sitting in their seats at 11 a.m. So thank you very much, and please help me achieve that objective. Thank you.
Got some music down here. Oh, there's a lot of union members here. Look, I mean, you can see right there, wearing the purple, there's Crystal Irving, there she is, of course. Can't miss her. They fixed these broken fountains for 2 years just for Paloma's event. That's wonderful. Love it. Okay, worst thing you can see when you go somewhere is Sean Alo Rivera. This guy acts like a terrorist often. He does not like free speech at all. He saw me, turn right around. I'm in the party. It's not exclusive for once. That's a positive. I want to give credit for that it's finally open to the public, but I'm not going to have time to say nice things today, which is too bad, but I definitely know some people here, some that like me, some that don't, so let's find out. And of course, Matthew is running away. Let's run say something. And Carolina Chavez and her slave Jerry's down there. One guy looks like a guy from KPBS. Interesting. These guys are This is like the media spot. As you can see, there's been many unions represented here. This is their candidate. Really nice backdrop, though. So we got Planned Parenthood, KPBS, and down here is the head of the local Planned Parenthood, Bernita. Remember her from Nora?
My honor to invite a fearless leader with bold vision, Supervisor Paloma Aguirre, and her husband, Elio Bukowski.
That's a hard name to get, so.
For the official swearing-in. Please join
Oh, there's her friend right there.
If you can stand up.
Oh no, now we can't see anybody. Oh, there's Jim. Look at all those phones.
Thank you, Dr.
It's almost like hearing
for
Nora.
your leadership and helping make this day so special. Thank you so much. Where are you? Great. Thank you, Dr. King. Thank you. I want to start by thanking my husband, Elio, for standing with me through thick and thin.
Even with lots of debt.
Y a mis familiares y amigos que nos están viendo por YouTube desde muy lejos en México, les mando un fuerte abrazo lleno de amor. Gracias por todo su apoyo. Today truly is a new day for the South Bay. Hoy es un nuevo día para el sur de San Diego. Not just because there's a new choice on the Board of Supervisors, but because the working people of South County made their voices heard. So District 1 gets its fair share for the housing, parks, and city streets we've always deserved. Every day, in every way, with everything I have.
I wonder if these people are going to stay for the meeting.
Something better is personal. My grandfather rented horses for a living. Mi abuelita, the backbone of my family, sold lobsters. Our believers bridge in order to keep her nation afloat. I'm a proud daughter of immigrants who came to America and worked long hours busting tables so I can have a better life.
That was a long time ago since she had a job.
Soy la hija de padres migrantes que vinieron a los Estados Unidos, como tantos otros, a trabajar como meseros para que pudiéramos tener la oportunidad de salir a la vida. My parents are no longer with us, but not as they go by, but I'm not thrilled with trying to speak for their sacrifice and an opportunity.
Fun show so far, I have to say. She's going to take credit for doing everything in IB. The EPA made progress because there's a new president. Fortunately, that's just the reality. Nothing to do with what she hasn't done. She's good at running her mouth. I might give her that. But maybe I can't actually, because there's an article that came out today, and I read it, The Voice of San Diego, and she's basically just repeating the entire article. Her story is exactly the same of her personal life, and then taking the credit for everything, it's exactly the same. I mean, I don't know, do people really believe this? That they believe that this is a real unscripted speech of passion? I wish they had watched the Imperial Beach Council meetings that I've been at for over a year, because they would see something different as I began to see very quickly. Sometimes you get little hints, and then eventually the hints lead to this. So, There's Circulate San Diego's Colin Parent Weiss here, and there's Jim Desmond. This is why I'm here, right here. Danish, because that's what we do. There's Todd's guy, Dion. There is Sean. Oh, there's Corey. IBW. This is the only cheese and this allegedly cheese and potato burrito, just for the record. Is truth. One of the reasons why we have corrupt people in office, several political unions have reportedly been operating as a slumlord, funneling their big profits to their political candidate minions. From an iNews source article entitled, How Affordable Housing in National City Became a Cash Machine for San Diego County Labor Unions, quote, in National City lies a 450-unit apartment complex where tenants have for years complained about water damage, mold, roaches, and poor management. For more than a decade, the apartment complex has served as a cash machine for a coalition of labor unions known as the San Diego County Building and Construction Trades Council. $5.2 million every year in untaxed rent and laundry payments, with political action committees that channel payments into various political causes. Union leaders have used revenues from the apartment complex to give hundreds of thousands of dollars to support Todd Gloria and Catherine Blakespear, to pass bond measures, fight a repeal of the state's gas tax, donate to Alliance San Diego and the San Diego County Democratic Party. The National City Park Apartments and the Progressive Labor Alliance PAC, both of which are controlled by CEO/business manager/treasurer Carol Kim, paid $202,000 a year, donated $20,000 to a pro-Paloma Aguirre committee. Carol Kim, Matthew Leba Gonzalez, Anselmo Estrada, and Tom Lemon donated a total of $1,500 to Aguirre's campaign. The case Citizens United overturned campaign finance law that barred unions and nonprofits from independent expenditures in elections, end quote. There's tons more to that story, but obviously we've had political unions infiltrating our local government with outright corruption to make themselves rich via paying for minion candidates. All engaged in this will be exposed, I can guarantee that. Here's Paloma with an unpermitted event in IB with those who paid for her seat. IBEW, UDW, SIU, Building Trades Council, Carol Kim. And privileged Paloma, doesn't the city ordinance say something like more than 24 people requires a permit? That's a seat you're in, not a throne, wannabe king. The first day here has to be tough. Item 3. It says one-time lump sum payments are contingent upon a change to the county's reserve policy, which provides additional one-time funds. So is this an admission that these political unions can only be paid $14.4 million of our tax dollars if Paloma is here to vote in favor of raiding our reserves, our emergency savings, rather than properly balancing the budget of our money? But, you know, I guess we can't expect someone who can't even pay her property taxes on the house in the city she skipped out on to do that. Something so basic as paying your bills. Guess you have to be responsible. But, I mean, what else can we expect if the unions are the ones that got you in office, paid for you to be here, practically wrote your speech you gave earlier? Well, then why would you not give them, a little bribe, a kickback for making sure that happened? It's very corrupt what goes on here. I mean, it's nothing new, right? It's just amazing. We look at what's going on, like, who are you really representing? Because it's not IB. It never was. And I don't like to say that. That's something I figured out. And it really didn't take that long. There were a lot of hints. And then it became full-blown obvious when you started running. I mean, let's be real. Shouldn't even say hi to the IB council members that attended today.
Pretty sad. Thank you.
Residents of District 1.
She had to pull this for her first meeting with KPBS right there.
The people of District 1. The people of District 1 are fairly tired. They're tired of having to breathe in toxic gases, including hydrogen sulfide, which are incredibly detrimental to people's health, especially the health of children. Just recently, there was a publication of the Assessment of Chemical Exposure Survey, the ACE survey, which I'll go into in just a sec, but this is the 17th time this board has declared this a local emergency, and I think that as this crisis continues to worsen, we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can in our power to address it. I just want to share with my colleagues a few
It's true. 16 proclamations for a state of emergency. Not a single thing has changed. Maybe Paloma's tired old line isn't working. I repeat what I said in Imperial Beach at the last council meeting that Paloma ran away from. The never-ending push for a state of emergency is like fetch. It's never going to happen. Anyone that's still wasting time talking about a state of emergency that everybody knows the president cannot declare without a governor's consent is either fooling themselves or trying to fool everyone else. Only the IB plan is a real solution, and yet Paloma was the lone no vote on that item. Paloma studies will achieve nothing in that 5-point plan to nowhere. The number one source of sewage pollution is not the river, it's Mexico for 90 years. The solution is drawing a line in the IB sands. No more water to Mexico. Increased tariffs every day. There's a drop of sewage. No more border crossings during sewage spills. And if that sounds harsh, good. That's everything in your power. It's as harsh as it was to breathe in Mexico sewage during last summer. I've gotten sick a few times, Paloma. You don't even know that.
I was wondering if you would accept an amendment to your amendment that we also ask the state and federal government to look into potential consequences if no action is taken by Mexico and we continue to get the sewage flow as it is today. Either monetarily or something to, get Mexico's attention to increase their efforts to build up their infrastructure as well, as part of this.
Just like IB.
Thank you. What I'm interested in is having our state and federal government, who are responsible for all of us and our health, safety, and welfare, taking care of us first. So that's what I'm interested in. So thank you for suggesting the amendment. At this point, I'd like to move it forward the way it is.
Yep.
Okay, well, I've
just like I
do.
do.
30 years, and I'd rather see a heavier
90 years, actually.
Okay.
As Tara has liked to have said in the past, this is all theater, this is all theatrics, a lot of pretty words. Look, I'm here to take care of you, I'll help you, but not really. You owe an explanation.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
She's trying to stay pretty tough.
My mother said, Joel and Jim, from now on you guys could just stay home. I said, they could have been staying home for the last 5 years. It doesn't matter who runs it. When corrupt Nathan Fletcher and Lorena has been pulling the strings from afar the whole time. Didn't matter when vanishing Nora Vargas was here, and it doesn't matter if TDS Tara's here. But I know Tara's been drooling for this moment, yet she remains unqualified to even be in office at all. She's proven herself a spoiled brat who rolls her eyes, yells at meetings to the point that I called her Tara Thunberg, and is generally very intolerant of opposing opinions. For Paloma, bad. She has failed to rep IB. She couldn't even show up to local events when she allegedly lives in the city. Why is she late? Why does she no show? I don't know. Paloma even once claimed a council member at Cooties. All lies. As always for the last 5 years, we are absolutely doomed. And by the way, commies, they don't serve. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
Sorry, Cesar, I cannot help you. That is not the kind of leader that we want. Madam Speaker, you are spreading the political virus here in the county. You are the chair of education for the elementary school teachers, education. What are you going to teach to these children? Hate, disrespect?
Thank you.
What's her face? Tara with a 15-second clip for the news.
Do so much more for the people in our community.
Making it sound like she's a leader of some kind.
Say very grateful for your confidence.
Well, Jim talk.
Also want to take a moment to comment on you, Supervisor
Looks like he
Montgomery
wants to.
Stepp, I just think you have stepped into this role on this board with such vision and such clarity, and I think you stepped in at a really difficult time. And
that's
what
understatement.
you brought to this board over the last 18 months has been really extraordinary, and so looking forward to continuing to see you lead here. So thank you. And I've already said lots of nice things about Supervisor Aguirre today. But I think I just hope that we can continue working together. So thank you very much. Supervisor.
She's married, you know.
Thank you, Mr. Student Vice Chair. Okay.
Only 5 minutes.
I'm not going to be voting in favor of the motion. District 5, North County, has not held the chair or vice chair position for over 4 years. The larger unincorporated districts have been underrepresented in the leadership positions at this board, particularly Districts 5 and 2.
Why is she
We are the
smiling?
main representatives of the huge and vastly large unincorporated areas, and we serve as their local government representative. And they have not had a chair in representation in over 5 years. So for that reason, I think the people of the unincorporated areas also have to have people rotate at least through the chair and vice chair positions for a fair and better representative government.
Yep.
So I'll be voting against the motion today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from anyone else? Okay. We can go ahead and take a vote.
Joel literally doesn't care. As usual.
Vice Chair Lawson, remember that motion passes with Supervisor
Joel could care
Desmond
less.
voting no, and Supervisor Anderson abstaining, all of the supervisors
Of course.
being present and voting aye.
Of course, Joel literally
Okay,
does
thank you
not
very
care,
much.
one way or
Moving
another.
on to item 7. This is
Why is he
appointment
here?
of board members,
Why don't you just leave
board
early?
commissions, and committees.
It's truth, Paloma cannot be appointed to anything at Sandag or MTS. She took a campaign donation from Soviet dictator Hassani Krata. She is a slave to the political unions, having gotten $21,500 in bribes, campaign donations from the Building Construction Trades Council, which has been monopolizing project agreements at both Sandag and MTS, as well as openly trying to control the Sandag board. Both agencies have wasted billions of our tax dollars on projects that have harmed this county while benefiting only the political unions who funnel that money to candidates who will be their slave to keep making them rich. Paloma on the Transit Taxpayer Oversight Committee when she can't even pay her own taxes. Are you serious with that? Paloma at Air Pollution Control, she's going to pick up where Nora left off with useless studies and air purifiers. Notice that Paloma will be getting 5 stipends. That's at least an extra $750 to her bankroll. I guess she needs it. Note that Jim's only on 7 out of 44 boards, committees, and commissions. Very disrespectful. And the only positive of having Paloma monopolizing Sandag is that she's going to have to see me at least every 2 weeks, if not more. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. Talk about you on Friday.
North County is silenced and unrepresented. These boards and committees make critical decisions that directly impact our infrastructure, transportation, water supply, and the daily lives of North County families. What this does is leaves North County District 5 voiceless in decisions that we made on our future. I won't be supporting this item.
Yeah, Jim.
Any other comments from any of my colleagues?
One from Joel. He never has any words.
Paloma's done fine.
I'll move on.
I'll second.
Okay.
We care about
Motion
the
from
people that don't have
Supervisor Montgomery Stepp and a
representation.
second from Supervisor Aguirre.
That's what
Please
they
vote.
say. Is Joel going to
Chair Lawson,
abstain?
remember that
Is he
motion
going to
passes with
abstain? Let's see.
Supervisor Desmond voting no, all of the supervisors being present and
Oh, he just plain voted yes. Oh, well, that's a Joel. That's what he's
Okay,
good for.
thank you very much. We're going to take
We got some crime fighters. Yeah. Border Patrol's here. With very few minutes left, we got the ice cream for the throat because that's what this county causes, stress on the throat. They have not cleaned up Paloma's mess. She's left a big mess for the county to clean up. That's where it was held. A lot of chairs over there.
by federal authorities. Now, employees I spoke with told me that they detained several workers. Right now, we're working to confirm the exact number.
This was the chaotic scene of an operation by Homeland Security investigations as they swept through this restaurant at the corner of Beach and 30th Street. Heavily armed agents can be seen in full tactical gear as cars block the streets off. In this video, you can hear loud booms and sirens as community members surrounded their cars. Pedro Rios with American Foreign Service Committee was there and watched as people were taken away in handcuffs.
The agents fired sound grenades, flashbang grenades at the crowd.
Claire Cody works at Buena Forchetta. She had just clocked in for her shift at about 4:30 Friday afternoon when she says several men in trucks went inside saying they had a search warrant. Claire says agents put employees in handcuffs to check their ID.
There was no stopping them. There was like 30 ICE. There was 30 of them. I mean, we were just all in shock. They just came at a time where it was so unexpected.
Before the restaurant opened up for dinner, staff put up this close sign. Claire says employees here are all like a big family and they're heartbroken.
They took people.
She's never seen it either. This is the first time.
Some of our employees.
Meanwhile, outside the restaurant, the community pushed back.
It was quite clear that there was just a complete rejection by the community of the federal agents of conducting this in their community and neighborhood.
And I did reach out to the Department of Homeland Security to find out more information about this operation, and I'm still waiting to hear back.
It's truth.
If people are not supposed to be in this country, they should be deported. They should be deported. 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 If people are not supposed to be in this country, they should be deported. They should be deported. Deported. Deported.
Reportedly, a Buena Forchetta restaurant was running a concentration camp, working their illegal workers 13 hours a day with no breaks and at dirt poor wages. The child slave labor on pot farms had $10,000 of human trafficking profits funneled to Newsom's campaign. Is this why politicians want illegals picking crops?
Why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops.
Vegetables would rot in the ground if they weren't being picked by many illegal immigrants.
One local insider is tipping off activists and the media to when and where ICE operations are going to occur. When are California extremists going to stop terrorizing federal agents by doxing them, threatening their families, looting, and literally fighting them in the streets? Stop trying to create force-filled sanctuaries of crime and a California confederacy of communism. The federal government should investigate anyone who votes to approve any so-called Know Your Rights propaganda pamphlet. Whether anyone supports ICE or hates ICE, the only reason they're here is because you guys declared it a sanctuary county. So thank you for bringing ICE here. I actually thanked CBP earlier when I saw them.
Flashbangs and handcuffed employees in front of families and children. Because the news didn't have time to tell the whole story, I will. I reached out to ICE. They said that they had a federal criminal search warrant that they executed 10 minutes prior to the restaurant's opening. There were no patrons present. They arrested 4 for illegal presence in the U.S. with a court-authorized warrants. Large crowd formed, surrounded the vehicles, became unruly. Then they deployed the flashbangs. The real question is why, if this tip went in for labor exploitation in 2020, why was that ignored for 4 years under the prior administration? I'm asking your Office of Labor Standards to investigate Buena Forchetta and do their job.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
And these ICE tactics may seem severe, but they're done to protect the law enforcement officers. We got here by not enforcing immigration laws. And when we see immigration law being enforced, actually happening, some are shocked by it. In the past week, ICE has arrested in San Diego County Zhao Yang, convicted first-degree murder. Juan Gerber, 3 counts of lewd or lascivious acts with a child under 14. Ricardo Rodriguez, repeat offender with convictions for battery, DUI, and illegal entry. And in the U.S. just this weekend, a Border Patrol agent was just shot by somebody here illegally. And we wonder why our law enforcement officers are taking measures, why it took 20 or 30, whatever the number was that went into that restaurant. And you saw the mob that formed outside. They're doing it to protect themselves, and we are products of our own policies. As far as the agenda item goes, I'm all in favor of people knowing their rights. But what's being asked of in the agenda here is for staff, our chief administrative officer, to develop and implement a small business Know Your Rights training program. Well, I'm not in favor of developing and then implementing it without even knowing what's in it. So just to go straight into implementation, this is something I can't support. I won't be voting in favor.
Don't even know the cost.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jim.
Supervisor Aguirre?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to thank you for bringing this item forward. And the video you showed actually happened in my new district, in District 1. And I want to be very clear, these tactics by ICE have nothing to do with public safety. We had children in a daycare right across the street where those flashbangs were being deployed that had to be evacuated from the daycare. We had ICE agents with weapons used in wars being brandished in front of families who were just going to dinner in that evening. So I think that having this program and being able to support small businesses on what their rights are, especially when we're seeing practices where there is a due process taking place, is something that we need to have. And actually my question would be to staff is if this is something that we could potentially replicate to help support some of our county employees, as stated in the comments.
Is she trying to say there's illegals? Oh no.
Yes, we have training to our counters, and we will certainly connect with the individuals.
Do they want to get raided? Jeez, what is going on here?
Thank you. I really appreciate that. This is, I think, a practical and necessary step
I'm very concerned.
in this moment.
Do you worry at all about drawing the ire of the administration and making San Diego a target?
San Diego's already a target.
Knowingly putting San Diego County in jeopardy. Hardcore socialists don't want the Medicare and EBT SNAP fraud, waste, and abuse to be exposed. Wouldn't want anybody to actually work, right, Paloma? The best example of Medi-Cal, Sweetwater Nursing Care received about $300 million of our tax dollars, yet reportedly has seniors neglected and left for dead. The tenant legal aid is 100% political. Renters are exploited by groups like ACE, which work on behalf of Paloma. Tara quit wasting our tax dollars on communist red billboards and slips, ridiculous banner props for your 30-minute monologues on the dais. Look, she's still talking. California's $12 billion deficit from extreme mismanagement is way worse than Trump's one big debt bill. And Biden's record debt is why there's now cuts. Hello. But Tara's got a new tax coming, right? Because just like she always says, this is all political theater.
A lot of times politics is a lot of theater, right? We just sit here and have theater all day. Sit up here and we do theater like all day long.
If you guys really cared, you would have told Biden, hey, quit putting us in debt. It's going to cause problems later. Thanks.
Nothing should be off the table and trying to accomplish
I said
this.
socialist for a reason.
No way.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Hello, my name is Benjamin Senes. I'm a proud SEIU Local 221 member and county employee. I've worked at the Northeast Family Resource Center as a human services specialist for over 2 years, and I'm here to speak in support of item 8. The county already knows that the GOP's big, beautiful bill will overwhelm departments like self-sufficiency services. Interesting. And the SSAB has already submitted a board letter by Supervisor Lawson Reamer, which advised that current staffing levels are already insufficient for maintaining current workloads. I want to thank the board for being proactive in starting this conversation before things get worse, but planning isn't enough. We're asking a vote yes on developing a comprehensive strategy plan and to include subject matter experts, specifically at least 3 SEIU county workers.
No to any and all negotiations with labor, aka the political unions, because the corruption runs very deep, as I've been covering all day. That article, the wonderful article, how the affordable housing became a cash machine for the political unions, revealed the tip of the iceberg. It did not cover the binational connections and why some people will never hold Mexico accountable, or why there's so many expensive stack packs, and why we continually have labor negotiations and campaign donations, specifically under Citizens United. Those who once yelled loudly that it was about the corporations, well, they did not want us to look at the nonprofits and unions. So the county needs to end all project labor agreements now, because benefiting the big political union action committees is no different than benefiting big corporations. We know these backroom labor negotiations and deals are why county government projects are slow and expensive. Paloma has also made me very concerned today that illegals may be working for the county. Are they part of the purple shirts yet? And let's end on a fun clip.
The sewage crisis.
Some people think it's a convenient political tool to use to get elected.
The sewage crisis.
Some people think it's a convenient political tool to use to get elected.
Nah, that would never happen. Thank you. Have a good day.
I have written to my elected officials, sometimes only getting a prescriptive response from aides that don't even offer a hint.
I got a preview of the speech earlier.
But I do receive their requests to contribute to their campaigns all the time. Politicians do a really good job asking me for money so they can continue to fight for my rights. Connect with your constituents and form strong bonds. Show them you care. Help them when they reach out to you. Together,
It's going to be hard to keep that glass face all every single meeting. Didn't work for Nora.
Who passed away recently. Steve was born on March 1st, 1975 in American Samoa, the youngest of 8 siblings. Just 6 months later, his family relocated to San Diego, where he would grow up and make his lifelong home. His parents, who spoke limited English, communicated with him in Samoan, passing down their values through actions and community, even as they navigated the challenges of economic hardship. Despite limited resources, Steve's childhood was filled with love and support. His older siblings stepped into roles as guardians, showing up for him at school events and providing a sense of stability and pride. Being the youngest in a large family, he developed a unique closeness to his siblings, full of admiration and love. As he entered Patrick Henry High School, Steve worked hard in school and pushed himself academically in hopes of attending college. He briefly enrolled in Cuyamaca College, and this chapter of his life became a point of reflection and guidance he later passed on to his children. After college, Steve began working with one of his brothers at JCPenney, which helped strengthen a sibling relationship he deeply cherished. Steve's relationship with his father was particularly special. While his siblings helped raise him, his father was a source of unconditional support and quiet wisdom. Losing his father to cancer was a turning point, but Steve found strength and direction through the mentorship of others in his faith community. In time, Steve met Lauren, who would become his wife and life partner. Together, they raised 2 sons, both of whom graduated from high school and are now navigating their own educational journeys. With his children growing into young adulthood, Steve turned his attention even more intentionally toward service. Steve became a youth pastor, a football coach at Helix High School, a retail manager at Sprouts, and eventually a city council member in Lemon Grove. He didn't come to public service in public office the traditional way. Rather than focusing on fundraising, Steve took the approach of going door to door, introducing himself, and listening to his residents. This approach gained voter approval and secured his seat as an official city council member. When he was sworn into the Lemon Grove City Council in December, Steve brought a focus on creating a safer, cleaner city and on lifting up working families. He believed in leadership through example, and he sought to create lasting positive change by putting people first. Steve Fayad was not only remembered for the roles he held, but also for the person that he was, compassionate, dedicated, and rooted in faith and love. His presence was deeply felt in every space he entered, whether it was on the football field, in the church, or at a city council meeting. His passing is a profound loss for Lemon Grove and beyond. Steve is survived by his wife, Lauren, and their 2 sons. Thank you so much for being here. Along with a host of other relatives and loved ones. We extend our deepest condolences to all the lives that he has touched. God rest his soul. Thank you.
Thank you, and with that, we will proceed basically immediately to closed session.
Oh, it's nice. They're getting a real proclamation out of it. It's a nice thing for Monica to do. What better way to look each So then let's Black Sabbath. Rest in peace to Ozzy Osbourne, man. He's a pretty nice person, and I think he would have appreciated this pizza. No to war? Okay, hi, Truth here. Of course, right? I mean, I think I'm becoming a little bit famous, and I think I have to thank Paloma Aguirre for that. That's interesting. I also thank Amy Riker. I'm grateful that someone actually noticed my speech and took the time to post it. It's a lot of work. You know, I'm a perfectionist, so that's part of why I don't really upload that many blogs. I don't have a staff either, so as much as I would love to just upload, so people can see everything that happens around this county, or at least where I go, it would be great. But unfortunately, real life gets in the way of the fun stuff, the hobby, so to speak. Here you saw my wonderful pizza from Slice House, Little Italy. Highly recommend it. I'm not kidding. It is some of the best pizza in San Diego County that I've had. I went here and found it by accident one time. I did a whole pizza and politics video, and so I was craving it again, especially because I knew today was going to be a little bit tough because I did the Board of Supervisors, which I have not been in person for like 7-8 months because I didn't want to. I didn't even want to do the meetings at all. I didn't even want to call in. But I did when I felt like it was important. Well, today felt important enough to be there in person. And I'm so glad I did. Not just for followers, I mean, that's really important, but because somebody who knows Paloma's work needed to say something, needed to speak up. As far as I know, there weren't really any real Imperial Beach residents there. And that's whose voice really needed to be heard, because there's a reason that Paloma could not win the city that she is alleged to have, or currently lives in. I don't know, she shouldn't even pay her property taxes. Can she count as living there? I don't know. But that's whose voice we needed to hear today, and we didn't. So, I'm the unofficial representative when IB needs somebody to step up, and I'm proud to do that. It's part of why I have the IB pin on my jacket, and the Tijuana Estuary. That's because I do legitimately care, and people know that. And so, speaking to part of that extended family, maybe we had a divorce, me and Paloma. I didn't choose that, as I kind of let her know today. I don't want to say any of what I'm saying. You made it happen. You flip-flopped on the city you're supposed to represent. And so how can I do anything else other than address that? It would be wrong if I didn't. And I know some of her minions are gonna make all kinds of accusations, and in the end, it's still not personal. It just isn't. If she wanted to turn around and do the right thing tomorrow and hold Mexico accountable instead of covering for them, I would absolutely support that in a heartbeat. And I'd say thank you. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening. We have people on all sides using sewage emergency as their political football. And as I've said in IB, I'm tired of that. But anyways, it was not really about that. It was about Paloma getting the oath of office and getting that seat finally that the unions bought for her. Because she's broken, that's, like I said, that's the easiest to use, manipulate. When they're desperate for power, desperate to get out of their situation because they refuse to get a job. You didn't hear that from me. You might have heard it from her, actually. Actually, most of this today was positive. Tara was the only negative thing, because when she goes on those diatribes, oh man, it's the worst thing ever to try to ignore. But I'm glad I went for the oath of office reception event that was held at the Waterfront Park area. Because one, it was not exclusive like it has been every year. I'm not sure for how many years, but the years I've seen, they block off the chambers and only let the people on the guest list in. When that's our building, we paid for that building. We should be allowed in. So having it on the waterfront where there's basically no limitations on how many people, that was fair. And equitable, should I say equitable? I don't know, but I appreciated that. I couldn't say that today because there's too many important things to address, but I'm very glad. I'll say that at another time, I think. But I ran into good people, which I didn't think I was going to see anybody good really today. And I did. I saw a lot of good people. I saw my friends from Lemon Grove, my friends from Imperial Beach, a friend from National City, even a purple shirt friend, and some other people that are not friends. They're not good people. I'm gonna name some names. So the one I just like, ew. And I think they had the same reaction because they turned their back when they saw me. That's Johnny Rivera. I've had some nice words about him lately because he's had some nice words about ICE. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When I do is I flip it back because they're projecting is what they're doing. But I was happy to see Yadira and Jessica from Lemon Grove Council. Those are two good people, two real people. Complete opposite of Sean, actually. Imperial Beach, Carol Seabury and Jack Fisher. Those are real people. And they had the city manager, Tyler, and Erica, Clark Kelly. There's a lot of people from, you know, the IB city that came out. It was good to see them and eat burritos. That's not racist. It's not racist, right? Stereotypical at least, right? Like, and mariachis, just is that different than what Vanishing Vargas did, or is it exactly the same? Yeah, a little bit of a pattern. But I appreciate the mariachis. I talked to them too. They were cool. I did enjoy most of that burrito. I didn't eat all of it, and I got a couple of the Danishes. You know, you got to make sure you take as many as you can to get your tax dollars back. That's how I work with these events. But yeah, they had some pretty good stuff. There was yogurt, granola, like 5 options on burritos. Apparently there were some croissant sandwiches. I didn't get one of those. Different kinds of pastries, no labeling, coffee, waters. They had tea with real honey in a little jar with some fresh lemon slices. And then all the different types of sugars you want, even the good raw sugar. So a good mix, actually, of stuff there. It wasn't bad. Even had hot sauce for the burritos, which made me happy. Of course, I had the coffee, and that kind of ruined my throat later. I'm not supposed to have coffee when I'm speaking, you know, but I thought I ought to finish it by the time I get to the next meeting, because technically, I think, I'm not sure how they're operating, but it felt like there were 2 or 3 meetings today. But I was so happy. Oh, Ron Morrison, the mayor of Nashville City, very good to see him. He was there for a short while. I'm glad he came out. It would have been interesting to hear his opinions on some of the things I said today about Paloma, because he endorsed her. I wonder if he still feels the same way after all of the scandals that happened with her getting campaign donations from a slum apartment in Nashville City. I have no idea. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about that, but I got a feeling I know how he thinks on that. Okay, Nashville City's got a lot of corruption to work out. Understatement. I think we're doing pizza and politics again is what we're doing. Let me take a bite just to prove it. It's okay if I had some burrito and pizza. That makes sense to me. But I'm very culturally diverse. I saw some other Nashville City friends, by the way, not on the council. Good to see them. I talked with some of the deputies that work at the building. I talked to the interpreter. And I can't say anything private conversations. I always follow that golden rule no matter. Even if they're an opponent at some point. Even Paloma, I'll never say private conversations. See, if it was personal, I would respect that, but I do. But yeah, just real talk about what goes on with that county, and you can imagine that their opinions are not so different than anyone else's opinions, if you know what I mean. I'm just gonna say that. I'm not naming any names on that. I love having honest conversations, and I finally got to talk to Jim Desmond, for all you North County people. Because I've had a lot of conversations with people on different councils in North County, and they all say good stuff about Jim. And I always say, I have not talked to him yet. The opportunity has not arisen. There was finally an opportunity today. I saw him when I was walking around. I walked all over to try and get a good view of Paloma or whatever's going on. There were so many purple shirts, a sea of purple shirt, that it was hard for me to see anything. Especially when they stood, then you couldn't see a thing. But as I was walking, I saw Jim Desmond not in one of the seats. He was just standing in the back. I won't say that conversation. You can imagine I had a question about that. I was like, this is my chance. I'm gonna talk to him. Not that, well, deputies might try to stop me. I don't know, but no, nobody tried to stop me. I just went up to him and talked to him, and he was very nice. And he had a lot of compliments for me, actually. So did his staff, which was interesting. I don't expect compliments. It's an honor for me. I never expect that anyone actually finds value. I try to bring value, but it doesn't mean that someone else is going to see what I'm seeing or agree or like it or whatever. It tends to happen, which I'm grateful for. And then while I was talking to Jim, that's when Jack Fisher arrived, and so that was a perfect connection for them to have a very, very short discussion on the sewage emergency and real solutions, like consequences for Mexico. That's the real conversation of us who actually want things solved. Not talk about it for another 90 years or die before we even get to that point because people are so sick. And that's one of the things I did bring up. That's one topic I've never really talked about in Vero Beach at the council meetings is the health effects that I have experienced at different times. Like I didn't even talk about that publicly until recently at all. Because I just didn't want negative press out there about IB. Because it's not fair. People already have their stupid stereotypes. Like they don't even go at all. But they'll go to Coronado, even though those beaches are closed too. Okay. Yeah, it's different, but I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I let Paloma know, you know, you may know some things about me, I may know some things about you, but you didn't know that I've gotten sick. And I hid it pretty well. Luckily, mind over matter, I was able to do every speech, every meeting I ever spoke at. I never once coughed, even though outside of it I was coughing like crazy. But it was just good to be honest with her because, you know, after all the time she ran away during the meetings, didn't talk to anybody, like, except her people. She wouldn't even talk to the council at the end of it. I know it's sad to me that the election like just changed her. She's so desperate for that seat that she's not the same person anymore. I don't like that. I know it's gonna sound like an insult, but I miss more Vargas. I don't know, I'm not the only one. Everyone can talk so much crap about her. But if you watched her long enough, you'd see that there was a good part of her, and I always loved that good part of her. Always will. I've never heard me say anything bad about her as a person. Certainly some of her decisions, yeah. But you could always count that she would still treat you right as a person outside of all of it. At least that's my experience. That's what I saw in person a number of times. I could give a lot of examples of that. I really could. The other thing that I was glad to see was the little tribute to Steve Fayai with his family there, and Lemon Grove council members came back later. I don't know what they did. I should ask them if they went to go eat lunch or something. But it was good to be there with all of them and see the proclamation, which was very nice of Monica, her office, whoever coordinated that. That was very nice to happen. Because Lemon Grove is just a small city, nobody really notices it, but if you ever go there, you get to know the people, man. It's got that small town community family vibe, which I really appreciate these days. You know, I used to really be kind of a big city person, and it's kind of changed, just because, you know, the crazier things get, the more you want to be in something real. And I think that might be the lesson of the day, is what we're missing in government is real authenticity of the people that are there. And as I said many times today, when you see who's funding them, it's not regular people. That's like, oh, well, no wonder. Our voices are not being heard. So I just want to encourage those of you listening that the way you make change, besides being involved, is when there's a good person, support that person. Support them harder than the bad people support their people. Because that's how we got here, is the good people sitting on the sidelines and going, let someone else do it. Well, even if you're going to let someone else do it, are you helping that person at least? You may not have to be the face, but are you helping them in any way? That'll bring the real authentic change. If that's what you want, that's what you got to do. Just like I went out of my way today to speak at this place I hate, because there was something bigger than myself to be achieved that was real and tangible. And I felt pretty good to do the right thing. So, hey, you could do that too if you want. Pretty good day. I'm glad I came out. I almost forgot to mention, I saw today was John Duncan, the mayor of Coronado, Jay Dunn. How can I forget to mention him? Good to see him as well. I heard him get one clap because everyone was allowed one clap who attended today. That whole Paloma script. At a certain point, I almost thought she looked at me too. She was a little bit far away, but I swore she looked at me at one point. I was listening. And then when she started telling lies, I had to walk away. And then that's where a picture was taken of me where it looked like I was protesting I was not protesting, I just held on the side. I'm not really a protester, but it would have been an opportunity to use that sign I made. But I let people enjoy their moment. It's when the meeting starts, that's when the moment ends.